Hey, what's happening, guys? I'm ika.himee and welcome to my channel. So today is going to be another draw session day, because pretty much you guys already know that I fill in with draw sessions when I need to, which happens a lot more than I'd like, but unfortunately it is what it is. I don't really have a lot of time to devote solely to videos. There's a lot of things that I need to do / want to do, and keeping up with videos is one of the things that I need to do, but when it comes to like making money, that priority, it gets put on the back burner because I don't make any money from these videos. I used to, but YouTube took monetization away from pretty much everyone. So I don't get monetization. My videos are not monetized anymore. So if that's why you're wondering why I say and do pretty much whatever I want on my channel, you know, I swear and whatnot, it is because I don't live in fear of being demonetized because my videos aren't monetized to begin with. I mean, you can bet your ass as soon as I'm able to monetize my videos, I'll monetize them, but as of right now, I can't monetize them. So yeah. But what I'm doing here is I'm working on the Meet the Artist. I don't know, meme. Is it a meme? I don't know. It was a trend a while back. Maybe, I don't know, like a couple years ago or something, or like last year. I can't remember. I don't really keep track of trends. I'm too cool for them, actually. I'm just kidding. It's just one of those things that I never really had time to do back when it was like huge. So I didn't do it. But the other day, my friend showed me the one that she was working on, and I was like, you know what? Why not? Why don't I do the Meet the Artist thingy? Because, you know, I think that meeting the artist is always cool, which is one of the reasons why when I go to conventions, unless I absolutely have to for like a scheduling issue or like an insane traveling issue, I will not have proxy sellers sell my work at conventions, because I do find like a lot of people, and I know that not a lot of people believe in this, actually. There are plenty of people that do proxy selling, and you know what, if you want to proxy sell, if you want to have someone sell your stuff for you, that's fine. I mean, I can't judge you, but I will tell you this from experience and from what people have told me, attendees, like, because I have seen art by, you know, several artists that I admire, but they were not present at the convention. They had people selling for them, and you know, that's fine and all, but from what I hear and from how I feel about it myself personally, I like meeting the artists, and other people do too. It is a huge deal, alright? Especially if people are following you and you happen to be at the convention they're going to. It is a huge deal. They want to meet you. They don't want to meet the person that's selling your stuff for you. They want to meet you. So just a little bit of advice. I know that, you know, some people don't feel this way, but I have always felt this way, and I have been told by various people I've been told by people that they will not buy from people that are proxy selling. Because they just feel very turned off by it, and they feel like the artist is trying to sell their stuff, but they didn't feel like attending the convention and meeting the people following them was enough of a priority, and like they didn't care about it, and people are really put off by that. Whether that's the case or not, I don't know, because, you know, there are plenty of people that, you know, they really do care about all their followers and stuff, but they don't want to go to a convention, they can't go to a convention or whatnot. But it is a really big deal for people, so, you know. People like to meet the artists. So I think that this is a fun way for people, especially people that do not go to conventions. While I do go to conventions, there are still a lot of things that people don't really know about me personally, which, I mean, in a lot of cases is fine. You know, I don't want people knowing every little thing about me. That's just kind of creepy. But, you know, there are a lot of things that I think I can share with people that I have not shared with people. So, the meet the artist tag, whatever, is a good way to really do that, because it just it enables you to create an artwork and also talk about yourself, which is something that a lot of artists don't really do. Some artists, myself included, don't really enjoy drawing themselves that much. I used to draw myself all the time, and then I realized that I am really boring. So I don't like drawing myself that much. I definitely prefer creating characters. I like building worlds. It's probably because I like to escape from the real world, because I think the real world is kind of shit, and I would much rather be somewhere else. You know, if I had the opportunity, I would be in, I don't know, probably any of the worlds that I've created, even the bad ones, because Lord knows, I've created some really bad ones that no one in their right mind should ever want to go to. But I find real life to be very boring. I don't know that everyone feels this way. In fact, I think that most people don't feel that way. But I do. I feel like real life is extremely boring. Nothing ever happens. There's no excitement. Everyone is just doing the same things over and over again. You get up, you go to work, you get off of work, you eat food, you go to sleep, and you do it all over again. And if you're lucky, you can get two to three poops a day in, and you know what? That's your day. That's your life. And I've always hated it. I've always wanted more excitement, and I think that's part of the reason why, you know, there are a lot of people that read books about, about self-growth and how to accomplish different things within your life, and how to really improve your outlooks and whatnot. And I feel like, you know, you shouldn't have to improve your outlooks on life. That shouldn't be like a thing that goes in the need to improve category. You know, life itself should just be fun and exciting, but it's not. And in fact, it is so boring and unexciting that there are hundreds of books telling you how to get the most out of your boring life. And I hate that. So that's why I don't ever read those books. I always read, anything else. Typically, I don't really like a lot of books that are too close to real life. I don't like it to be too real. I definitely like some more fantasy elements or creepy elements, things that I know cannot happen or are unlikely to happen. I definitely prefer that a lot more. There are a few like, you know, books or movies or whatnot that portray real life that I do think are really good, but for the most part, for maximum enjoyment, I don't want to be able to relate to it that much. Like, it's okay to be able to, for me to relate to characters. I think that's always a win. Unfortunately, the character I relate to is 90% of the time a stoner, and you know, the other 10% of the time it's just that really cool character that's the first one to die. So I am not a stoner. But it's like, yeah, it's okay to relate to characters for me, but I don't want to relate to a premise too much. I don't know. It depends. I guess it depends. There are a few exceptions to the rule, portraying, like, in manga and stuff like that, where you have your slice of life and stuff. If it's funny, or if it's a good romance, like a really good romance, I'd be like, maybe. But, you know, for the most part, you know, I like to not feel like they're talking about a real person. Sometimes, I don't know. I think that a lot of people probably need that kind of grounding. You know, they probably need to feel like they're talking about a real person. But, yeah, I don't know. It's not me. I find real life really boring, so that's why I tell stories, and that's why I have always told stories. Because I don't really like the world. I actually kind of hate it. I think it's awful. So if I can, you know, if I can do something to enjoy the world a little bit, and if that something includes me creating stories and telling stories and, you know, wishing that I was in those worlds or other worlds or something, even if I was the first person to die in that world, I think it would still be like nice, you know. But yeah, so that is a tidbit about me there. I don't like the real world, but anyway, so I'm doing this, and hopefully you guys will get some interesting information about me out of it. I when I started this video, you saw that part of it was already done, and this is my second time trying to record this. First time had to stop short, unfortunately, because I got kind of I got a phone call, and then like immediately after that, like no one was on the other end. I know who it was that called me, because I know where the call came from, but no one was on the other end at the time, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then like immediately after that, the doorbell rang, and I had to go and answer the door, and it was the neighbor, and it was kind of like an emergency situation that, you know, I'm not going to share too much about it, you know, right now, but it does pertain to me and my family. So this is actually my second recording of this because I had to stop, and it probably took me, I think maybe like I want to say probably about an hour to get to a place where I could actually re-record this. So yeah, I'm kind of in like a really weird place at this particular moment that I wasn't in like a few minutes ago. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on, and if my mind wanders a little bit as I'm talking to you guys, you know, just know it's not because I don't want to be doing this. It's probably because my mind is drifting other places. But yeah, so everything so far is fine. So, you know, you guys don't have to like worry about it or anything like that. It was just very, very stressful. I get stressed extremely easily. I have anxiety, and yeah. I get stressed very, very easily, and very easily overwhelmed too. So sometimes I will literally I'll need a solid 10 minutes to just go back to being a person, you know, because I can check out pretty hard sometimes. So yeah, there are times when I actually need to physically take a break if the situation is overwhelming me. It happens a lot at like parties or gatherings, where I will just kind of like I will just be gone, and I'll usually go missing for about 10 minutes. For anyone that goes to a party with me, if you get extremely concerned about where I've been for the last 10 minutes, chances are you should probably start by checking one of the bathrooms, because I've probably been hiding in there. Just trying to recover a bit. I get emotionally drained very quickly. And gatherings, I'm kind of, it's very hard to explain, but there are people that give energy and like people that leech off of that energy, and usually it's introverts kind of give off the energy and extroverts soak in all of that energy. So extroverts can go all night long, you know, nonstop. They are good to go, because they've been like feeding off the energy of everyone else the like entire night. I am extremely introverted. I don't really like to go anywhere, you know, I mean, with the exception of like a few choice places, but for the most part, yeah, so I really don't I don't like go many places. I don't go to lots of parties or anything like that, and I get drained just so fast, and it is terrible, actually. Yeah, so yeah, my energy leaves me, and I'm like, oh shit, where'd it go? So yeah, yeah, so that is that. Yeah, so you know. But all right. So I guess I can talk about some fun facts, other fun facts about me, which is literally the only thing I've been doing. Because I'm doing this Meet the Artist thing. Yeah. So, I typically on a typical work day. This is not the clothing that I wear on a typical work day. A typical work day, I wear pajamas and like old t-shirts. It's not really cute. I will say that. But yeah, so that's usually about what I wear on a typical work day. However, like the outfit that I'm drawing myself in here is something that I have worn and will wear in public. When you go to conventions and you meet me there, you might notice I will wear like not lazy day clothing. I know that there are a lot of artists out there that will wear like lots of lazy day clothing, you know, it's just like another day. I like to look nice. I like to look presentable. Because I feel like how I look every day is not really very presentable. Yeah, so there was one time I felt pretty bad at I think it was Triad actually. I had felt really bad, and I didn't want to wear jeans, and that was like what I had taken with me. So I had leggings with me for one of my other outfits, and a really long t-shirt, a Star Wars t-shirt, which typically I don't really wear t-shirts when I'm at conventions, but it was Star Wars, so I was like, you know what, why not? I'll wear something comfortable and cute, so. Because it has the Millennium Falcon on it, which is the best ship. So yeah, I wore that, and it's like kind of a long shirt. So I was like, I don't really want to wear jeans, so I just wore that and leggings, and I was extremely comfortable for the day. But that was like the first time I had ever worn something that casual for a convention. I was extremely comfortable. And you know what? Once you go comfortable, you never go back. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, God, it's been like a really long time since I've drawn a star. That sounds really bad. Okay, you know what? I don't think it's gonna work that way. I don't think my brain is capable of comprehending how that would work right now. So, I actually need to do it the I don't know, hard way. But yeah, okay, so other fun fact tidbits about me. I am a Wiccan. I'm sure that I've mentioned it before. So if you don't know what a Wiccan is, Wiccans are we're basically witches. You might have heard about witches, because a lot of people plan on, I don't know, hexing the president. I think that's a thing that women wanted to do, witches. I'm not going to say women, you know, because anyone can be a witch, men included. But there was like, I don't know, it like made news that looks like shit. But you know what? It's my shit, and I'm a little proud. No, I'm just kidding. It looks like ass, but I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, so apparently that was a thing. Like, I don't know if they went through with it or did it. But they, plan to, I guess hex the president, and, I don't know how, actually. I really feel like, honestly, them wanting to do that, I know that, I don't, you know, at the sake of getting a little political here, I don't really like getting political, and actually, like, I don't really like talking about that, because I feel like everyone has different opinions for different reasons, and, sometimes it's, different priorities above others, and just different places that people are at the time, and as that influence why they think certain ways. So I don't really like to necessarily judge people specifically on what viewpoints they have on a certain situation, and I don't really like talking about politics very much. Actually, I don't like talking about it at all. I find it emotionally draining, and if you talk about politics around me extensively, I will not respond to you. So there's that. But for the sake of you understanding a bit more about my religion and who I am, I will we'll talk about this a little bit. But yeah, I don't exactly understand it, but they wanted to like hex the president, and they were going to do like a group spell or something like that. Which, you know, obviously that is a real thing that is in the realm of possibility. That is something that can be done. Typically, it's something that's done within covens, though. So I don't really know exactly how they were planning on doing that. Because I did that wrong. I did this wrong. Shit. Because they wanted to do it like, I don't know, like a worldwide hexing, and I don't know if you can, you know, positive think your way out of that. Excuse me while I reply to this. But basically, what they want to do is something negative. Hexing is a negative, like, it's a negative thing, I think. Pretty sure. Every hex that I've ever heard of has been with a negative intention. So hexing is an extremely negative thing. You want to harm someone if you hex them. Which is the total opposite of what Wiccans believe in. I mean, I guess there can be gray area for certain people, but honestly, though, God, I don't know if other people believe as much as I do in this, but a lot of my religion actually derives from world religions. So I do take a lot of things from other faith to apply to my own. So a huge thing for me is karma. I heavily believe in karma, and I have been around long enough to see people get theirs, so I know that it's a thing, and it's something that I would like to avoid. So the easiest way to avoid that is to be a good person and to not hurt anyone, which is why which is why a bunch of witches wanting to hex someone is kind of counterproductive, because even if you think you're doing it for a good reason, you know, you're not. If that makes sense. It's basically, it comes down to like self-preservation. So regardless of what your political beliefs are or anything like that, doing a bad thing will gain you a bad thing in return, and it will usually gain you something bad, like 3 times worse than what you doled out. And you know, that's not a risk I want to take, you know, because the universe is weird and it does weird things, and you know, I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to hex people. And trust me, there are people I have thought about hexing, and I was like, you know what? That's going to come back to me, and I really don't want that. So I'm like, I'm just going to quietly be a good person and like hope for the best. So yeah, basically, a lot of people think Wiccans are really bad people, and some, I'm sure, probably are bad, but for the most part, we're like, we just like rocks, man. We just like crystals. Yeah, we for the most part, we wouldn't hurt a fly. We're pretty harmless. But I grew up in the South, and I still in fact live in the South, and the South is very Christian for the most part. There's a lot of God worship here, and a lot of people putting a lot of faith in God here, which is fine. That's fine. If that's what you believe, that's fine. But what happens with that is, and kind of because of that, I feel like there was a lot of negativity being sold about Wiccans. So I was interested in Wicca probably long before, because I was a kid and I was like, whoa, what is that? And like the first time I ever saw a pentacle, I was like, oh my god, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I like read what it was and I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. And I was not allowed to practice Wicca. I wasn't allowed to be a Wiccan. And it wasn't actually until I got much older and I just started making my own decisions about who I was as a person, who I wanted to be, that I was actually able to look into it more. And it was actually I got my mom into it. We got several books, because the one thing, the hardest part about growing up without a religion or in a religion that you don't agree with, is that when you want to move to a different religion or be a different person, you have to understand the religion that you're moving to, and that's not just knowledge you're born with. Like a lot of Christians born into Christian families, that's knowledge they're born with. You know, basically like they're raised one way, they're taught, you know, everything that they need to know about being a Christian from a very young age, so they don't ever have to like really look into it. But I have books and books. Between me and my mother, we have books about all the different things that Wiccans celebrate and things that we do. And it's a lot to keep track of, it really is. Yeah, that's like the most difficult part, but I think it's less of a problem now than it used to be, but Wiccans used to be extremely criticized, and to the point where it was kind of like we were seen as like devil worshippers, which, you know, fun fact, those are called Satanists, not Wiccans. But yeah, so it was really bad, you know. We were just viewed as just bad people, and we're probably some of the best people. I mean, obviously there are good people everywhere, but by Wiccan philosophy, we are typically the best, most harmless people that you could ever come across. So, you know, in case you were afraid of witches, we're really not anything to be afraid of. And I mean, 90% of our magic is totally positive, and the other 10% is done by people that just learned it because they want to be assholes. That makes sense. I don't want to be an asshole. Like, I probably already am one, but like I don't want to be one in like that kind of way. I don't want to be that kind of asshole. Because an asshole with a spell book is the worst. But yeah, so yeah, so I'm a Wiccan, and now you know that. I don't know how many other people around me are Wiccans, but I do know that a lot of the people that I grew up around, went to school with, ended up becoming Wiccans, or they were Wiccans all along. So I think that is like one of those really cool things. But yeah, so I was kind of late to the party on that. Yep, but does my head look weird? I think I don't, because it goes. No, it's probably fine. My hair is really floofy, so it's actually kind of hard to tell. I have wavy hair, which is, it probably sounds like a cool thing, like, oh man, the best of both worlds. You know, it's kind of straight, kind of curly, but not too much of either. And I'm here to tell you that it just sucks. Like, I would much rather have curly hair, even though I know that it's like a pain to keep track of, but it's like, it looks better, because wavy hair is such a pain. Like, I have to brush my hair, like, no joke, 3 times a day for it to look presentable, because it will just frizz up and tangle so easily and so fast, and it's a nightmare, and it's awful. So there are times where, like, if you go to conventions and you see me at conventions, a lot of the time I'll have, my hair will be extremely, like, crinkled and wavy, and it's because I will I'll braid my hair the night before when it's still wet, so that the waves are more controlled and they stick together, because my hair is wavy anyways and it's gonna wave no matter what. But the thing that I have to do is, like, I have to try and tame it. I have to try and, like, control it a bit, because otherwise it's just an unruly mess. So yeah, that is the reasoning for why my hair is almost always, like, crinkly when you see me at conventions. Yeah, so that is that. But gosh, I don't really know what else there is to, like, say. Oh gosh. This hat, I've actually wanted one of these hats for, like, a really long time, and my brother actually gave me one. He's like, one of those hats? I have one of those. I never wear it. You can have it. And he gave it to me, and it's, like, my favorite hat, especially because I dyed my hair, and it's a color, like, that's not, it's, my hair is purple and pink. Basically, it's kind of like, you know, if Stocking were a real person with short hair. That's kind of like the hairstyle that I have right now. Except the underside is, like, it's not all pink like hers, but it's just kind of mixed. But yeah, that's basically how it looks right now. And I was trying my best because, like, I want to keep the color in my hair as long as possible. However, I am Italian in, like, the worst kind of way. Basically, Italians in general are kind of oily people. We produce a lot of oil. Have you ever watched, like, a mafia movie, and, like, there's always a scene where it portrays, like, some guy with, like, greasy, slick back black hair and, like, a white tank top or white wife beater, one of those things, and he looks like a grease ball. I'm here to tell you that is 100% accurate. And, like, we're just a greasy people. I don't know why. I don't think it's fair, but I produce a lot of oil. So I actually, like, most people, they can't wash their hair every day because it will damage your hair. If you didn't know that, washing your hair for most people is very drying and just a bad scene in general, and it will cause, like, a lot of damage. However, my hair is so greasy that is, like, never an issue for me, and in fact, if I skip a wash, you can tell. My hair is just super greasy and gross, and I was gonna try and see if I could, like, skip a day of washes to help preserve the color longer, but I don't think I can. But I was gonna be like, oh yeah, I can just use the hat because hats cover up the roots, which is where, like, the grease is. And I was like, it'd be fine, I can just do that. But honestly, I don't think I can. I looked at my hair today and I was like, ooh, nope. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So that dream went bye. So the color will probably fade a lot quicker than it will on someone that has, you know, naturally dry hair, but, you know, I'm gonna do my best with it, and, you know, get it redone if I need to. You know, it's not a big deal. You know, it's just, like, it just costs money to get your hair redone, so, you know, I don't like to do it too much, but if it means I can look nice, then, I mean, I guess it's not too bad. But, yeah, so this video has gone on quite a while. I think that I'm done. There's a lot of things that I haven't shared about myself, but, you know, honestly, you know, who cares? I'll catch you next time. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you had a fun time listening to all these things about me, which might be really boring. I don't know. Depends on how invested you are into my life, or how much you care about my life. I don't know. But, yeah, so there's some fun facts for you today, and some things to think about, I guess. And yeah, so if you'd like to support me, you can check out my shop and Patreon. Links are in the description box below. I recently released a coloring book. It is not in my shop yet. I am not sure if I want to post it in the shop quite yet. I might wait until after Raleigh SuperCon. But if you would like it, it is available. Prices are on my Twitter, so you can totally check that out right now. Actually, at this moment, I have 4 copies available, but I might be doing a couple more copies in the next few days. And yeah, the paper, the ink, it is Copic safe. I will tell you that it is Copic safe, so you can use Copics, color pencils, whatever you want on it. The one thing that I will say is that it is not a marker paper, so while it is very smooth, it could bleed. So if you want to protect, it is single-sided. The pages are single-sided, so you're not going to worry. You don't need to worry about ruining anything directly behind it. However, the next page, you might want to put a piece of copy paper between that, just as an extra precaution, you know. So just in case, just to be safe. I typically do that anyways with most of my things, with the exception of like Bristol board, but even that I don't color on top of other pieces of paper, just in case, because you never know. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, so you can totally check that out. That's pretty cool. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Links are in the description box below, as always. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if there's anything that you would like to know, the comment section is always open. You can feel free to subscribe to be updated every time I post a new video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!